Hello and welcome to this video lecture. In this video, we will be talking about Common Mistake Type 4A, or CMT4A. Before we move on to the next lesson, let's refresh 3 principles. If you fall into any of the 3 principles below, be sure to choose the most likely answer straight away on the actual exam. Common Mistake Type 3 and Common Mistake Type 4A and B. Strong knowledge of CMT Type 1 and 2 can get you a score of 48. But if you are looking to get a score of 49, 50, or 51, you have to master CMTs 3 and 4. Even though they appear in less than 5 DS questions, mastering them is very important to attain a score of 50 or 51. They are not part of the easier questions and can make a difference of 30 points per question. CMT3 and CMT4 generally form a part of the key questions that deal with integers, statistics, probability, inequality, and absolute value. Let's look at the relationship between the variable approach method and CMT3 and 4A and B. In key questions, that is, questions that deal with integers, statistics, probability, inequality, and absolute value, with at least 2 variables, the correct use of the combination of CMTs and the VA is likely to give you C as the answer. CMT4A often appears in the exam if you are getting a score above 50, so study it carefully. Common Mistake Type 4A and B. Now, Common Mistake Type 4 is often seen in key questions. CMT4 tells us that D is more likely to be the answer than A and B, and A and B is more likely to be the answer than C by the definition of DS questions. So, we have 2 cases when we are looking at CMT4. Case A. This is also known as CMT4A, which tells us that if you get C as an answer too easily, consider A or B as an answer. So if you are confused as to whether the answer is A or C, then A is likely the answer. Also, if you are confused between B or C, then B is the likely answer. Case A appears in the exam more often than Case B. Case B. This is also known as CMT4B, and tells us that if you get A or B as an answer too easily, consider D as an answer. So, if you are confused between A, B, or D, then D is the likely answer. If A or B is the answer, and C is also the answer, A or B have priority over C. Based on the definition of DS questions, C doesn't even have a chance if A or B is the answer. This is a common mistake type because people tend to believe that C is the right answer. That is, if A or B is the answer, many feel that C is obviously the answer. Many people make this common mistake when taking the exam. Common Mistake Type 4A. If you get C as an answer too easily, then consider A or B as an answer. Now, we have seen that Common Mistake Type 3 often appears in the key questions. CMT4A is also generally seen in the key questions, which deal with integers, statistics, probability, inequality, and absolute value. Key questions dealing with integers and statistics often appear on the exam. CMT4A also tells us that if you arrive at C too quickly after counting variables and equations, consider A or B as an answer. In other words, for the key questions in DS, when C appears to be the answer, look for either A or B as the answer. CMT4A occurs in a couple of different situations. When both A and C appear to be an answer, A would be the answer. When both B and C appear to be an answer, B would be the answer. In other words, on DS questions, C could be the answer when neither A nor B is an answer. But C would never be the answer when either A or B is an answer. Answer A or B always wins over C. Understanding this logic will allow you to ace the GMAT. You can upgrade your logic by linking the variable approach you learned in Lesson C with CMT3 and CMT4.